Now you are.
Are we in?
You're in.
We're in. So Stephen Nason said I should bring more energy today.
Oh.
I'm not energetic. I think he was kidding around, actually.
Okay.
I think I'm plenty energetic.
You're very energetic. I think it's a gray day here. Like it's a very low energy day.
It is. It is. Although it's nice and bright here in Capshaw Kitchens.
It is.
Thanks to
we got the lighting going. All the lights are on.
And the love of my love of chopped liver is just shining through, right?
Well, I'm glad you had that.
One of us is a liver lover. The other one is not a liver lover. And I'm not even trying to convert. If some people love it, some people don't.
You know what? I feel like a little bit of an outlier, because every other member of my family who lives here loves liver.
Oh, Mary's not a liver lover?
Mary's not a liver lover.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Hi, Mary. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming along on this journey with Willa and I. Welcome to episode 3 of Sandwich Saturday.
Sandwich Saturday.
I'm going to throw an apron on here myself.
Okay.
Which makes me an official cooker.
Should I be washing my hands? Probably.
Yeah. You wash yours, then I'll wash mine right after you.
Okay.
So, as you may know, Willa and I have been doing 3 weekly episodes of different cooking formats. We do a 30-second Thursday, which this week we did a vinaigrette, a salad dressing, which was super easy and very well received too. People love that.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice to hear.
And we do Mustard Monday, which typically involves the mustard. I'm just pointing to the...
Oh, I was very confused. I was looking.
Oh, you're looking, yeah. The
Instagram
Instagram one makes no sense, but if you're on the Facebook Live, it does make sense to people. And
hi, Lima. Thanks.
Lima's here. Hey, Lima. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to Capshaw Kitchens, Capshaw Studios. We still haven't figured out a name for it.
No.
So.
Oh, Phil Panther's chopped liver on rye mit camel with French's musty.
Yeah, well, Phil, we're going to show you a variation on that. In the restaurant, I always served a chopped liver appetizer with rye bread ends. And that's the thumbnail that we used on this demo. Hey, is that my friend Bruce? Bruce is in the house. Hey, Bruce. Bruce is a fresser extraordinaire. Great guy, great customer, great radio legend. And so nice to see you here today, Bruce. Where was I? Yes. So the sandwich, though, we would generally serve on challah. And today, so challah is a Jewish egg bread. And since egg bread isn't readily abundant here in Tofino, the next best thing, which is the next better thing, in fact, is brioche. So inside this, I haven't even looked at them yet myself. So this is the first out of the bag experience. There's a wonderful artisanal patisserie here in Tofino called Ouest, O-U-E-S-T. Jessica and Stephen.
Oh, it smells
really
good.
Well, Stephen's a magician, incredible baker, world-class patisserie baker, and he makes this wonderful brioche. So that's what we're going to build our sandwiches on today instead of challah. Yeah. And but Phil, you're not wrong. Actually, can I do a little segue right now into a future rye episode?
Sure, you can. I'm going to move this a little bit closer because I just noticed that we're picking up these are our pretzels that are sitting down here. I'm just going to move them out of the way.
That was our Mustard Monday pretzels from last week, which were delicious. We do have some leftovers, which, again, we did show people a method of smearing with some mayonnaise, grilling on the flat top or in a frying pan to bring it back to life. That works for pretzels as well. So, do you want to show people what you're working on here?
This is my rye sourdough starter, and you know what? I feel like I hope I didn't kill it. I thought it had bubbles in it a few days ago, and now it doesn't.
Oh.
So
does that mean it's not?
I don't know. Maybe it's dead. You have to feed it every day. So,
have you not been feeding it every day?
I have been, but I haven't been feeding it every 24 hours, which is that's complicated for me.
Well, setting a timer is a great way to do that.
It's true.
I will refer you right now to a video that we shot earlier this morning where we did some of the prep work around this dish. So you can go back and look at how we cook the liver. did the chopped egg, sorry, the boiled egg, and also we fried up some onions ready for this as well.
So apparently to test this, it needs to float in water. I don't know why. If anyone has the reasoning, let me know.
This is like the witches of Salem.
Yeah, exactly. If it's good, it will float. So it's not floating.
It's a witch! It's a
witch! So what you're supposed to do is if it doesn't float, you're supposed to just keep feeding it.
Okay.
Until it does what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to...
So this is kind of like Brisket Babysitting Club, where we'll have a daily update
on my poor.
So this is so I'm not a baker, and I admit that up front. And Willa is our resident baker in the house, and this is clearly something we're trying out that's new.
Yeah.
You said the other day that this is a sourdough. So what's the difference between sourdough and rye sourdough? I guess there isn't any.
So rye sourdough is made with rye flour. And
otherwise, it's just flour and water?
Yeah, it's flour and water. That's it. So where's our scale, my love?
The scale?
Oh, here it is. So it's 25 grams of each to feed it.
Of flour and water?
Yeah, 25 grams of flour, 25 grams of water.
2 grams.
I'm going to grab my...
There you go. Trusty rye flour.
Trusty rye flour, thank you.
I promise we're going to get to the chopped liver sandwich in a second. It's going to be really quick to put together, so we're giving you a little added content bonus right now.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed doing this with you, by the way.
Oh,
This is kind of a new thing for us.
It is. It's a very new thing, but it's, you know.
There you go, 25 grams.
Getting over my camera shyness. I'm going to lay that down so it's not in the way for a shot. And some water, and then tepid water.
Tepid water.
Yeah, tepid's a great word.
Shout out to Tofino Water, maybe the best tasting water in the world. Comes from Mears Island, which is directly across the harbor from us here in Tofino. We tend not to turn the camera around and show you our view, just because it'll break your heart.
So Phil Panzer's wondering if you prefer beef over chicken liver.
Phil, baby, thank you so much for bringing up this important subject. So I am a beef and chicken liver lover. It works both ways for me. What I grew up with in my house was beef liver. I've come to enjoy chicken liver as well. I prefer chicken livers, to be honest with you, pan-seared and then served either with a salad or frisee salad, maybe some lardon in there as well. It's a wonderful way to eat chicken livers. For chopped liver, though, because this is what I grew up with, and Phil, you'll recognize that what we grew up with is what we like. So, you know, the matzo ball, the age-old matzo ball issue is exactly the same as this. If you grew up with golf balls, what we call cannonballs, that's what's good. If you grew up with floaters, like angelic soft matzo balls, then that's what you know is good. And so for me, I like beef liver. The other important thing about this, I'm going to try and pull this down off the wall for you to see. We have on our wall here in our kitchen an original paper placemat menu. So I'll show it to our Instagram friends there, and I'll show it to our Facebook friends there. And as you might be able to see on my sandwich list in the middle, just below the 14-ounce fresser, Bruce, I'm looking at you for the fresser. Actually, Robin Nishio was fresser number 1. He was the first person to order the fresser. But Willa, Eleanor's
chopped liver on challah.
Right.
Challah.
And so if you're going to call it Eleanor's chopped liver, you're going to make it the same way Eleanor made it. Eleanor being my mother. And this is one of my favorite sandwiches to make. One of the things I love best about owning a delicatessen was my ability to walk into the kitchen, pick up an end of rye bread, and go and taste it.
I have one thing. Sorry to interrupt you.
Go.
So Jessica answered my yeast question.
Oh.
It shows there's enough lift in the yeast to rise your dough. So thank you very much,
So
Jessica.
Jessica Folsom is one of the partners in Ouest Patisserie. This is who we got our brioche from today. And full disclosure, Jessica's also a friend of ours and her partner, Stephen.
Yeah.
And we're actually doing a weenie roast tonight.
Socially distanced.
Socially distanced. We're going to do a beach barbecue, a little beach fire, which are legal to do here in Tofino. And we bought these weenie sticks. And Jessica has made a smorgasbord. So s'mores is what we thought for dessert.
Yeah.
And she's set up the Smorgasm of the Year award, I think is the year. Well, let's say that.
Wow.
I just said it anyway. Anyway, this is why we're having some fun. Okay, let's get back to the chopped liver, shall we?
So what do we need for our chopped liver?
Let's
start there.
So the chopped liver, of course, starts with liver.
Okay. So.
And this is the 1 pound lobe of liver that I roasted off earlier today. We had put it in for 45 minutes, and then when I cut into it, it was still running very bloody. So I left it in for another 15. 1 hour was plenty for this. You don't want to undercook it so it's pink in the middle, and it's really kind of hard to overcook. Saving some of the juices as well is a good idea because you can add those back for extra moistness.
Do you is it like a low and slow thing? Like, is there a way, can you cook it wrong?
Well, I think, so you can see on the inside there's still a little pinkishness, which means that it's not completely overcooked. Okay. But it's a very, very fatty part of the it's awful, really. I mean, OFFAL, and you can't really overcook it in this capacity. You could undercook it so that it's a little bit on the too pink side, but for this purpose, this is kind of exactly what we want. And we salted it and peppered the outside of the liver before we put it into the oven as well.
And you wanted it cooled, right? Yeah.
So I took it out of the oven. I put it onto the tray. I put the tray into the freezer just because we did it this morning, make sure that everything was cool. I also did I hard-boiled an egg because that's also going to add a little bit of flavor. And earlier, I fried some onions in schmaltz. Sorry, I fried some onions in chicken fat and turned it into rendered schmaltz, as well as lots of fried onions. I love the taste. So the schmaltz is really what gives the liver its silky texture, and a wonderful, wonderful flavor as well. And our friend Wanda Ho says, of course, always needs more schmaltz. Never
yes, she does. See, look at that.
See?
Extra schmaltz, please.
Love chopped liver with fried onions, but extra schmaltz, please. You got it, Wanda. Wanda's a great friend and a great supporter. Always has been. I love her and her whole family, too. So
is there a reason that we don't cook it hot, though? Is there would it do something to the texture?
No, not really. You could cook it warm. I mean, typically it's served cold, and so it will spread better if it's cool.
Okay.
But yeah, you could serve it warm for sure. There's nothing against that. And let me, before I start handling food again, let me give my hands a bit of a wash. If you've been touching surfaces in your kitchen that you may or may not have extra sanitized, just giving your hands a good wash for another 20 seconds is always a really good idea. It's also really important for us to say to people, we're not health experts by any means, but because places like ours here in Tofino are starting to relax social distancing rules, it doesn't mean that all the rules are off. So
yeah, exactly. It's travel rules. We're still social distancing, and we're still
right. This thing around here that we can stay in the province, travel around the province.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to explore BC local, I believe, is their hashtag. But we not baby. Did you ever make
greediness? Yes, Phil with the greediness. Of course I did. And
words that I'm learning.
Yeah. So greediness is onions fried in chicken skin and schmaltz as well.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's a wonderful. We used to actually serve it on our kishka early on in the deli, and then we stopped doing that for a time. Staff turnover got lost, but I'm going to put the liver into the Cuisinart, into our mix master, food processor,
right?
And it all comes together very quickly once it's in the food processor.
Okay.
So we get one whole onion in there. One whole egg. I'm looking at the onion. I'm saying the egg.
Okay. Hard-boiled egg.
And we have about a quarter cup of the schmaltz going to go in there with the.
Do our onions go in with that as well?
So we're going to actually mix the onions in by hand.
Aha.
Once it comes out of the food processor. I want to keep the onions whole. I love that the visual of the onions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but we are going to need a bowl from down below if you can.
Oh, yeah. I can grab a bowl.
Thank you. And thanks to Mr. Edison, we can plug this in. Get power. All right.
We got.
So the only salt and pepper we have in here right now is the salt and pepper that we put on the liver to begin with. I'm actually going to add back this little bit of drippings from the liver itself.
Beautiful.
And smell. And I'm going to.
Maybe I'm going to wipe this down so we can work on that side.
Perfect.
Out.
So if I don't know if they can still hear me about the din of the. Yeah. So Phil, we also used to do an item called speck, and speck is a classic deli dish. Definitely needs more schmaltz. So I have some backup schmaltz.
Always carry backup schmaltz?
Always carry backup schmaltz. 2 nice big tablespoons. You want to see a really nice smooth texture. It's going to smoothen out, of course, once I add the onions, because the onions are all full of schmaltz too. This is better. And it needs quite a bit of salt as well. So do you want to pass me the salt, please, Willa?
Yeah, there you go. So, just to clarify, we are making chopped liver with egg. Hard-boiled egg is gone in there, as well as schmaltz, and what else? And just the liver schmaltz, and an egg. That's
it's a very, very simple dish. And you really want the flavor of the liver to stand out. Just added a little. Okay. You're getting there now. Thank you.
So, what are we looking for when we like?
The texture is just very spreadable, and we could keep whizzing this to a finer puree, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But at this stage, I want to add the onions, and the onions have lots of oil in them too. And once I add the onions, I don't want to keep pureeing because then the onions will just get whizzed up in. And like I said, I just like the visual of having the onions as a part of the dish. And depending on how you want to do it at home, you can reserve some onions to enjoy on top of the sandwich itself. Mm-hmm. While I'm doing this, why don't you actually why don't you stir this through, and then I'll get some of our garnish ready.
Okay. I'm gonna let you use the cutting board. I'm gonna move this here.
So
get my coffee out of the way.
Thank you. Can you pass? Oh, just grab that. Okay. So a little tip when you're cutting tomatoes, always use a serrated knife. This is a bread knife. And especially when your tomatoes are as red and ripe as these ones are. And you'll notice that I'm using Roma tomatoes. Romas are consistently, they're inexpensive, and they ripen really, really nicely.
Oh, Mark and Kelly and St. John's at Rocket say hi.
Hey!
Rocket, which is so nice.
We love our friends at Rocket. So I'm rocking my my Codwar shirt today.
I love it.
Willa and I are so powerfully connected to our friends in St. John's and Newfoundland, and we think about you guys every day, and we really miss you a lot too. So thanks so much for tuning in and saying hi.
I don't know if you noticed.
Rocket Bakery is one of our absolute favorite spots in St. John's.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Wake up in the morning and that's where you go.
That's where you go.
I don't know if you noticed the little message that popped up from Diane saying that this is her favorite.
Oh, thanks, Diane. The chopped liver's her favorite, or Sammy Saturday's her favorite?
I assume the chopped liver, but you never know. We've only done 3 episodes of this.
That's true.
So
we're still figuring ourselves out, aren't we?
We're still making it happen.
So this is I have a red onion, obviously, and as you'll see on the menu, ripe tomatoes, red onions. This is my classic garnish for.
And actually, the picture that was on the preview is the picture of from the restaurant. Yeah. Yeah,
that was actually that was our chopped liver appetizer with the rye ends. You know, as a restaurant owner, you always have to think how you salvage things, right? So when you have a whole loaf of rye bread and you can't use the ends in the sandwiches, what do you do with them? Well, serving them with the liver is one way.
It.
Serving them with the.
Jules.
Oh my God.
Jules under the kilt says, "Willa and Zane, I'm definitely coming over.
So Elizabeth, hello Elizabeth.
Distance, and I'll bring the nuts that will go with that."
Thank you. Elizabeth is one of my favorites. She was on my radio show, and she's a terrific. She's a nut. She makes nuts in the.
I love it.
Kitchener-Waterloo area.
That's fantastic.
Well, Kitchener-Waterloo. This is phenomenal.
I'm not going to taste it. I'm sorry.
I'm so happy right now.
So how do we assemble?
Well, you grab me one of the white plates, please.
White plates. Coming up. Small one?
Yeah. Perfect. So again, Wedding Tofino, Ouest Patisserie. It's just down Campbell Street. Well, when you're in Tofino, you're going to come and say hello to me and Willa, and we're going to take you to West because you really have to try it. And here we go. So again, where's my serrated knife that I had? There we are.
Used it.
Yep. I used it on my tomatoes. This is Stephen made us a custom brioche this morning. These are beautiful, Stephen.
Sandra Fisher says my husband loves liver.
Well, Sandra, now you can you know how to do it. So we'll take a really nice helping of chopped liver.
Oh wow,
nice.
That is a really big helping.
Honestly, this tastes so good. There's a big taste difference between beef liver and chicken liver, and the beef liver just has this really wonderful irony. I'm gonna add some extra extra onions that we had fried up earlier. My schmaltz fried onions. Thank you. See, she's the best. A little tomato, a little red onion.
Look at that.
And this. Now, I mean, if you want, personally, yeah, right?
I was going to go show it to the camera.
Yeah. Should we do like a fancy?
Like
no, like a jaunty angle.
Jaunty angle. Here we go.
Well done. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Yes, it does. I love the close up on Will on it.
I know, it's terrible. It's just like a giant thing in my face. That looks great, babe.
Hey, Sammy Sig. Sammy used to work for me. Sammy, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Samara. Yeah, she was one of our cooks in the deli.
That's so nice.
So Sammy would have made this chopped liver herself. Am I bringing back some memories there for you, Samara?
Have you ever frozen this?
Great question. Yes, chopped liver freezes really, really well. The key when you defrost chopped liver, 2 things. 1, defrost it in the fridge. Leave it in the fridge so that it thaws out overnight. Don't rush to defrost the chopped liver. And 2, when you bring it back to life, in a bowl like this, a little bit of hot water. Boil some water, not too much, just a little bit, and you'll stir it through, and you'll bring back the consistency of the chopped liver. But absolutely, chopped liver doesn't have a great long shelf life. It's also one of the reasons why we don't want to work with it when it's warm. It's just more food safe when it's cool, and keep it refrigerated. Keep it sealed, and if you're not going to eat it all, absolutely, you're going to want to put it in the freezer and eat it when you'd like. It does freeze very, very well.
Right.
I'm going to take a bite.
You go for it.
So
that's the payoff.
Yes, it is. I never met a chopped liver sandwich that didn't need more salt, so I'm just going to put some on gratuitously, and a little more pepper as well. This to me really is comfort food. This is a dish that I named after my mother. This was my mother's, or is my mother's, one of her favorite sandwiches going. And when it was my mother's birthday this week. So it's a nice way for me to say, hi, Mom, love you. And the payoff.
The payoff, you go for it. I'm going to put something else on this beautiful brioche bun. I eat it myself. But I might have to wrestle it away from Zane because Zane might make a second one for himself. That's what I'm seeing. That's like a look of happiness right there. I love it.
The beef liver has this wonderful richness to it. That the fattiness of the liver itself, all the iron, the taste is so just touches something inside of me. It's a wonderful flavor. And then the onions give it a nice acidity. The tomato brings up the brightness. And the schmaltz, of course, is all there. And you can never have enough fried onions. The bun, perfect. Stephen, thank you so much for this brioche. Could not be happier. Diane, I went to public school with Diane. Joanne's here. Hey, Joanne, nice to see you.
I love it. Barbara says she's craving it.
Barbara's here. Barbara, so nice to see you. Next time I'm in Fergus, Ontario, boom. Enjoy the mustard too, Barb. It's on the way. Really appreciate that. What else do we have to tell these people?
I don't think we have anything else said. So the next thing that's happening is Monday.
Well, actually,
Mustard Monday.
We'll have my radio show tomorrow.
Oh, radio show. That's right.
So Amarita from Gaia Grocery here in Tofino is being my guest. She's just opened up a new gourmet grocery store. Organic gourmet grocery store here in Tofino in the midst of this pandemic. I love telling the stories and helping tell the stories of entrepreneurs, especially in this difficult time. Being able to support locals, being able to support our friends and tell their stories is an important part of what we do. You can listen live at toughcityradio.rocks. It's at 9 a.m. live here in Tofino, which is noon in Toronto, or if you're in Newfoundland, 1:30 p.m. And sorry, Sam, I'm not going to give a plug to your current employer because, okay, you work for Costco now. Fine. Thank you for your hard work. What else?
And then
Mustard Monday.
What are we doing on Mustard Monday?
Well, should we do something rye related?
Well,
if we can save the
only if we can save the starter. So if anyone has any sourdough starter savior tips, let us know. Also, I think we should reach out and say if anyone has a show idea for the radio, get in touch.
Well, all of the ideas, truly. I mean, you're exactly right, Will. You know, if you have a sandwich you'd like to see us make, if there's something that we can do with mustard that would be fun for you to see, maybe we'll do a marinade. My Aunt Carol Lou, who often comes and watches these videos, and my auntie, was asking about using mustard as a rub for chicken. So maybe on Monday we'll do a mustard marinade that you can use for your poultry or a different cut of meat. And absolutely, Will's exactly right. If you want to be on our radio show, drop me a line and tell me what your story is and how we can help tell that story. If you want to see a sandwich demo, let us know about that too. And Please also think about signing up for our newsletter at kaplanskis.com. The little pop-up screen, people can,
That's right.
can subscribe to the newsletter. We're going to have in June a really huge announcement. I am so excited about it, and I really look forward to sharing it with you at the right time. If you do get our newsletter, you'll be the first to know. Plus, there's some discounts involved there too.
Yeah, amazing. So I think that's.
I'm gonna have some more alone time with this sandwich.
You're gonna eat the
We're
sandwich?
gonna turn this thing off while I do that.
Oops, sorry guys. Giant hand in the way. Ah!
Bye Instagrams. Hi Facebooks.
And now, there you go.